REMARKETER. Empowering Realtors.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining me today. So I'm going to be talking about exclusive listings today, and we're going to look at this function of Remarketer with a little bit of a twist. So you are aware of changes that have been made to policy surrounding your ability to list properties off market, and basically the general policy laid by CREA is that if you make the property publicly available, then you would have to list it within a couple of days on MLS. So basically, the intention is for them to be able to make sure that anything that's public is available on MLS, and you can't really list a property and sell a property and generally advertise the property outside of any using any other channel outside of MLS. So that's the regulation right there, and good or bad, you'd have to adhere by the regulation there. So what we need to do here is to look at the the function, and also decide how you would want to utilize the function in order to be able to stay within the framework that's laid out for us. Now, it certainly doesn't mean that you cannot have any exclusive listings. You could certainly have exclusive listings. The way that you market them is a little bit different. So we're looking at two separate scenarios here. So one is a property that you intend to list on MLS ultimately. So it'll be a coming soon property, if you want to say. You would still be able to market the property exclusively before listing it on MLS. There is still benefit to that, obviously, because you're going to be able to be the first mover onto the market, especially when the markets are pretty hot. You'd be able to, offer the property to your own network before offering it publicly on MLS. And, even 24 hours can shift the deal here, because especially when markets are hot, things can happen really fast. That's one way, or that's one side of this that we have to the story. The other thing is that obviously you're demonstrating a much more active and very different style of marketing compared to other agents, which simply are able to list the property on MLS and start from there. You basically have a game plan that comes above and beyond what everybody else does, and that would be an exclusive marketing of the property as well, as short as it might be. When the demand for the property that you might be putting on the market would be assumed to be high, this would definitely be a margin of advantage for you. Now, on the other hand, you might even want to keep the property off market and not list it on MLS. Again, you're going to be able to utilize the platform to actively market the property to your own network, which, as long as it's not publicly listed, you could certainly market the property as much as you want within your network, and among your colleagues, and within your clients and past clients, etc. So all of that is going to allow you to keep the property off the market and advertise it for a longer period. So Anyway, the situation, you're going to be able to utilize the system that we have here to market your properties off market. Give me a second, please. Let me just open my browser here. Okay. Um, Sorry about that. Perfect. Okay. Um, let's begin from the listing manager. So this is where we are going to well, everything pretty much starts. So you would have to have your pictures, your information about the property. Everything should be ready, and then you're going to be able to add an exclusive listing to your listing manager, a non-MLS listing to your listing manager. After which you're going to be able to market the property. So let's begin and see what we have. It's pretty straightforward and very easy to utilize. It's just for you to have everything in place. I've got a bunch of pictures ready here as well, and I'd like to use them to do this. So we're going to go to Listing Manager, click on Add New, and the second tab that you see here is non-MLS or exclusive. Wait. Okay. So non-MLS would be, let me start from the beginning for just so that you can see the flow again. Add new, second tab, non-MLS. And we're going to start off from the very top. Um, the first section is the category of the property. So we will be selecting the category. So at the very top, we have three options here. It's either exclusive. So this is going to be an exclusive property. It could be a coming soon property. So that's the category that you're going to be selecting if you intend to list this property on MLS. You could select that, or an assignment. So there are three options here. So right now we'll be looking at exclusives and coming soon for the sake of our discussion today. Right after that, you're going to be able to select the property type. So is it going to be a residential, a commercial property, land, or farm? So these are the different options that you have here. Now, obviously, the restrictions that I just talked about are different here. So if you're talking about a commercial property, those restrictions don't apply. These are the things that apply to residential property. So if you really want to make sure what the guidelines are, you can consult with your broker of record, but it's different with the different property types here. So I'm going to select residential here, and then we have a subtype, which is basically what are we talking about? A condo? Are we talking about a townhouse? Are we talking about a single family property? And then you can select the type of transaction as well. Is it going to be available for sale, or is it going to be available for lease? So that's the general configuration right here. Now, the second section is address. You can just simply put in the address of the property, and with this, we're going to be able to generate the geo coordinates. Now, all the way to the bottom, you have an option that says, do you want to display the address, yes or no? So right off the bat, some of you might have this question that, what if I don't want to show the address? You could still put in the correct address, but at the bottom, you can select whether you'd like to display the address or not. So if you're concerned about that, especially for sale of business, for instance, in commercial properties, you might not want to display the address. So you'd have the option to hide the address down here. So don't worry about it. You can go ahead and add the address in here. All right. So I'm just gonna, hypothetically add a property address here, which is going to be whatever, 300, let's say Roywood. Okay, sorry. First one is the street number, 300. Street name would be Roywood. And then we have the street abbreviation as well. So this one is a crescent. You can street abbreviation. There. So we'll select that from the list here. Make sure that you select it from the list so that it actually fits in with the database configuration properly. So street name separately, street number, street name separately, and then street abbreviation would be the diff. If you have a street direction, east, west, north, you could also enter that over here. So it'll be like east or north. So, if you're looking at Finch Avenue East, for example, again, the avenue is going to be here, and then the direction is going to be here. If there's an apartment unit, you should specify the apartment unit here, just the unit number. And then we have the postal code. So the postal code for this property, let's say, is L3Y185. Next section is the municipality. So you're going to put in the municipality there. This one is in Newmarket. So I'll type in Newmarket. And then we have a community as well. So if you would like to also add the community name, you can add that community name here as well. So for example, this is in Central Newmarket. Province, country, and then you can also add a major intersection and a level as well if you wish to do so. So those are the information that we need to have for the property address. So the must-haves are the ones that are marked by the asterisk here. Now, once we have the address added to the system, we can go ahead and generate geocoordinates. So all you need to do, so this is the latitude and longitude for the pointer, for the pin on the map. Now, you will be able to generate this yourself as well, but you don't have to. What you need to do is to type in the address, have the address available, and then just simply click on Get Geocoordinates button right here. So what that does is that it looks at this address and it generates the latitude and longitude information for you. So this way, the pin on the map is going to work properly. You definitely need this, and you'd have to generate it just simply by clicking on the button right here. Now, the next section is the prices and dates. All right, so we would like to put in a list price. So let's say this is available for $1 million. I'm going to list it for $1 million. So that's my list price. Just type in the amount. Now, the next section is the expiry date. And as you can see, today is November 12th. The expiry date is, by default set to 3 months from now, which would, usually be the expiry date of your contract with your client. So that's what's configured there. Now, let's go back to the to the regulations. Now, if this is a coming soon property that you wish to list it on MLS in 2 to 3 days, what you would need to do is you can also expire the property automatically within 2 to 3 days. So you can set the property, you can list the property right here, and if you want to make sure that you don't have duplicate properties on your system, even though it's a very easy task to just to go and delete it once you list it on MLS. But anyways, if you want things to be automatically done, you can just simply expire this 2 days later, right? So this way, the system will automatically take the listing off of your website so that you're not publicly advertising the property over the limit that is allowed by CREA. So that's what we can do. Otherwise, by default, after 3 months, this property is going to expire. You can obviously change this and edit this as well. You can extend it further. You can come back and edit this and change it if you wish to do so. So that's a date that you should decide for carefully when you're listing the property. All right. Now, the next section is the status. So right now it's only active and you can't really change it to anything else. But later on, once you post the property, you can change the status. So for instance, it could be set as sold, for instance, or conditional or leased. So once you sell the property, you can come here and update the status as well, so that it will be marked as a sold exclusive property on your website. You can put in the taxes, the tax year as well. So for example, let's say the taxes are $4,500. The tax year is based on 2023 taxes. If there's a condo fee, you can add that in here as well. If there's a possession date, especially for lease properties, you can mention that here. If there are possession remarks, you can mention the remarks right here as well. Now, the next section is the property characteristics. So you can specify that information here. So let's say it's a 50-foot lot front. The depth is, let's say, 120 feet, and the size code is in feet. So either meters or feet, depending on what information you've entered in these two areas. The next section is the type of the property. So is it a detached property? Is it a cottage? Is it a business? Is it an attached property? Units, all of that information here. Duplex, industrial, investment, link, locker, multiplex, all of the different options that you have. Is it a room for lease, for instance? So in this case, let's say this is a detached property. You can also select the style as well if you wish to do so. So let's say that this property is a bungalow. So I can just select bungalow. You can add the approximate square feet. Let's say, for instance, you can select from the list here, 2,500 to 3,000 feet, for example. You can also specify what the status of the basement is. So we could just say, for instance, we have a basement apartment. Year built, approximate age. So I'm going to say, for instance, the approximate age is 31 to 50. Number of bedrooms. This is, let's imagine that it's a 4-bedroom. Number of washrooms, 3 washrooms. Let's say we have 1 bedroom in the basement. There's 2 kitchens, 1 upstairs and 1 downstairs. Or let's say there's 1 kitchen here and 1 kitchen plus for the basement. You select the water type. Municipal water, AC, let's say central air, heat source is going to be gas, for example. So these are all pretty straightforward. Heat type, let's say it's forced air or heat pump. Okay, so we have all that information added, these would be the property characteristics. The next section is the exterior. You can add information for the exterior. So if there's anything specific that you want to mention here as well, you can do that. The main things are the garage parking. For instance, we've got one garage parking. Let's say I've got two driveway parkings, and total parking spots would be 3, right? So I've got 1 plus 2, that's 3. Finally, we've got some features. So if there's a family room, you can mention that. If it's furnished, pets permitted, lockers, these don't apply to the type of property that we're talking about right now. If there's a central vacuum, fireplace, elevator, etc. Finally, we can add a virtual tour link as well. So if you do have a YouTube video, paste the link over here so that people can go and view the video as well, which would be an amazing option to have as well. The next thing is the description. So we can basically add in the remarks for clients. You're all familiar with that. So I basically added the description here. And then if there are any extras, we can also mention those extras in here. Finally, we've got a broker remarks as well. I will show you momentarily that there's an internal network to this as well. That remark would be only available to other agents using REMARKETER. So it wouldn't be available publicly. So you can add those remarks in here as well for your fellow colleagues to be able to read, right? Now, the co-op commission, you can also put that amount in there, for instance, and then finally decide if you would like to display the address, yes or no. And then we have one more item to decide about here, which is advertise. Now, what that means is that to make this publicly available. So that's all the discussion that we have right here. Okay, so you can, if you advertise it, it's going to be displayed on several different websites. The first website, obviously, is your own website. The second website that this property is going to be promoted on is your brokerage website, if your brokerage is also using REMARKETER. And the third website that this property would be advertised on is a non-branded website that we have, exclusivehub.ca, which is going to promote your listing there as well. So your listing would be promoted on exclusivehub.ca as well, which is basically promoting all the exclusive properties here. Now you can see that the exclusive properties are all linked to the listing agent, the original listing agent that's got the properties listed, right? So for example, if I click on this property right here, I can see all the information, and if I have any inquiries, that inquiry would be sent over to the original listing agent. So you're going to be able to generate leads and inquiries off of this website as well once you have this as advertised. Okay, let's save it and proceed. So there is going to be a confirmation that you need to make here. So you accept that you will make sure that everything is true and within regulations. Now, once you save it, the system is going to assign an internal sort of like an MLS number to it, and then you're going to be able to add pictures then. So we will then click on the pictures tab right here, and you can start adding pictures. Now, let me just quickly prepare my pictures. I've got a bunch of pictures here. It's got to be JPEG or PNG. I'm just saving my pictures here to export because they were saved in a different format. So I'm just correcting the format right here. Export, save, and one more. Export and save. All right. So we're going to go one by one. Make sure that you upload them in order. So picture one is going to be this one. And then picture two is going to be this one. So on and so forth. Picture three. Picture four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Picture 5. The bedroom. Picture 6. The basement. Obviously, I'm not gonna put in 20-something pictures, but the more pictures you have, the merrier, pretty much. Okay, so once these pictures are uploaded, everything should be okay. Let's refresh that. The pictures are updated. You can see that. You have the details available. Everything is now in place. Let's go to the website. Obviously, we selected the advertise option, and you can see that the property is now advertised on your website. So this is public advertising, right? So it counts as public advertising, and you're making it available to everyone on your website, as well as the other ones, as I mentioned. You can see that the property, just like any other properties, has got its property detail page. All the information is listed here. So you've got everything available. The map is pinned and all sorts of information. Apart from that, we, add any further information, for instance, that could be figured out for this property as well and add it to the system. All right. Now, if I go to Exclusive Hub, I should be able to see it here as well, unless we have filtered out the our demo account from this. No, there it is. So that property is also coming. You can see it's a coming soon property because that's what we selected there as well. So this one is coming soon to MLS. We have a full-fledged landing page on this website as well, with the schools and the rankings and everything in place. Now, obviously, this account is not part, and then you can see that it's all connected to our demo account as well. Now, this account is not part of a brokerage account. Otherwise, if it was part of a brokerage account, each one of you who are with a brokerage that's using REMARKETER, there is an exclusive tab on the brokerage website as well, which can promote your listing through the brokerage as well. So this way you're getting maximum exposure using 3 different websites instantly. So that's what we have there. Now, what you want to do after that is to, maximize your exposure as much as possible. So we did that on website. There are other channels as well. You can obviously promote this listing on social media too. So another thing you could do is, for instance, you can come to graphics and you can add a coming soon tag here. So it's available here and you can easily select that. Which one was it? It's I find it here in the list. Oh, there it is, the first one. So you can select this one. That's a property. You can select one of the pictures, for instance. Let's go ahead and select picture number 3. And then you can also add a tag. So our tag is going to be, for instance, coming soon. So that's also added. Finally, you can configure the colors. So whether your own custom color or whatever. And then you can download the image. Now, once you download the image, you can post this to your social media as well. So the image that we downloaded looks like this, and it's ready to be posted to social media now. So that's another tier of exposure that we made here. The next thing that you would definitely want to do is to send it out using listing courier. So you want to email it to all your contacts, right? So you can simply go ahead and click on add new. I can select the single detail flyer, for instance. I'm going to use the ChatGPT wizard to quickly build an email campaign title. So coming soon, exclusive property in new market, central, or just say new market. All right. So I want 1 sentence, submit. It's going to give me a title. There we go. Use it. Then we need a message. Coming soon to MLS. Ask me questions while it's still exclusive and not public, something like that. Give me 1 paragraph, submit. See how quickly you can really work. Gain early access to exclusive listing before they hit MLS. Inquire now. That's what's because it was too generic. My new property coming soon to, let's say, new market, right? There we go. So we can use this one, continue, and then select the property. There it is. The property is right there. So you can see, you can also select exclusive for the header, continue, and generate. So I can quickly build an email campaign as well. You want to change this, you can do that. So for instance, here it says exclusive. You want to say coming soon, right? You could just easily edit things here as well. There's a link to your website. you could just save it and go ahead and email it out to your contacts as well. Email, select all, send now, or schedule it. So that's another channel of marketing that um, we can add here as well. So on 3 different websites, you're emailing it to your client. You can have several different campaigns by email. You can include it in your um, newsletters as well. So for instance, if you're doing a custom newsletter, add custom newsletter. You can add everything else that you want to add in here. So for instance, you can add market stats and everything. Also, you can add things like my exclusive listings. That's the header. And I can add that listing right there. So you can have all sorts of things. So for instance, you can have things like your market stats, for instance. Right, so I can have something like that, and then I can add the market reports. New market, add it in. So we've got everything in there, and then we've got exclusive listing as well. All right, so you can build a quick custom newsletter, and you do have access to them as well. So you can have multiple campaigns for your clients that would include your exclusive listing here as well. So this way, I can quickly be on the market, promoting it on social media, promoting it by email, and maximizing my potential before the property is listed on on MLS and it's publicly available. So during that period of time, I'm doing things that other realtors are not. All right, and these are selling points. So if you really want to demonstrate to your clients that you have a different marketing capability, you can really demonstrate and show this to them and see how you can do more than other people do. Every agents talk about the fact that they have what is it, whatever their own proprietary marketing platform, but usually when you start asking them, so what is it, how is it different from everybody else, it usually ends up to the usual stuff: MLS, virtual tours, photography, walkthrough virtual tours, stuff like that, which everybody can do anyways. But these are the things that you can say that, I'm doing all of those, but I'm also vigorously marketing the property outside that. Now, above from that, you can also host open houses as well. So you have this available. If you have open houses, exclusive open houses, you can send invitation emails to people, invite them over. You can have postcards printed out in the neighborhood, invite people over to the open house before it's even listed. So you can pretty much do everything. So you've got the open house registration form already available here. You can edit that and have the open house landing page. You got the QR code, all of that. So if you're curious about our open house capabilities, go to our, I think it was the previous one of the previous sessions that we had, which we talked about open houses. So go ahead and check that out as well. It's also available. They're all available for this exclusive listing as well. So you have all the channels available to you in order to promote this listing as much as you can. Now, obviously, if you don't want to advertise this, you can select no for the advertise. And the system would basically take it off of platforms such as this one. So it wouldn't be listed on Exclusive Hub anymore. So it's not here anymore. It's not listed in New Market either. And it's not part of these listings either. Okay. It wouldn't be available on your brokerage's website as well. It will only be available on your own network. All right. So that's about it. And oh, one more thing. Once the property sells or is listed on MLS, you could just come and delete this if it's listed on MLS, because the MLS version is going to kick in. Or if it's sold while it's exclusive, you can edit this, go to details, and then change the status to sold, for instance, right? So once you change the status to sold, you can also put in the sold price. So let's say I sold it for 1,050,000. And you can also put in the sold date. So let's say we sold it today. All right. And then you can save that as well. And that's it, pretty much. All right. So let me stop here and see what questions we have. Good morning to you, Stephen. Thanks for being with us. I also see Dima, you mentioned that you have a question related to the Exclusive Hub, but you haven't mentioned the question. If you still have a question, I did explain a little bit about Exclusive Hub and how it works and what the intention is. But if you still have a question, please type it in, and I'd be happy to answer that question for you. Other than that, I don't see any further questions there. So Dima and everybody else, if you do have a question after this, please send an email to service@remarketer.ca, and we'd be happy to answer the question for you. All right then. So that's it. I'm going to stop here. I hope this was informative for you, even though exclusive listings are, not as let's say, easy to comply with as before, but still, it's quite easy when you have a tool that allows you to really, market push in such a short period of time. You can still benefit from a very, very short period of time that you can market a property before you list it onto MLS. The other thing is that sometimes you might not want to list the property on MLS, so just make sure that it's not advertised right off the bat. Keep it to yourself. You can still email it to your contacts. You can still, have those graphics created and sent it privately to your contacts. So for example, you can have this picture that we built here available, right? You can remove these items. Let me show you. Now that we're talking about this, let me quickly show that to you as well. You could just simply go to graphics. I'm going to add a listing card, select the property, all right? And I want to say it's exclusive right? Now, the other thing that you could do is that you could remove the address, right? So you're not really revealing where it is, but you can still advertise and ask people to contact you for that exclusive listing. And then you could privately share the information with them. All right. Good thing that we could add that in there as well so that you can see how that works. I'll leave it here. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and I'll see you again with a different topic next week. Enjoy. Goodbye.